Room 0. I used to work long hours, which meant I stayed in a billion hotels before. I was in one of those iconic American yellow taxis and driving to a hotel called the Grand Hyatt Inn. It's a massive hotel, probably one of the most grand in the whole of the USA. But I didn't really care how nice the hotel was. I just wanted to get to sleep. Eventually, we reached the hotel, and it was way bigger than I was expecting. I mean, I was expecting it to be grand, but not as grand as this. I got out the taxi and thanked the driver, and went to the reception to get my room. The reception was very nice, and it was so spacey. I could walk in any direction without bumping into what seemed like anything. I went to the front desk and asked for what my room number would be. And then, when he gave my room number, it was not what I was expecting. For he said for me to go to room 0. I was a bit shocked, but I said nothing and just thanked him for the room I'd be staying in. But while I was going up the stairs, I was seriously wondering to myself why there would be a room 0. I shrugged and went up to my room. I looked around the corridor on the first floor to try and find my room. I couldn't find it anywhere, but then I saw a tiny wooden battered door with a metal lock right next to room 1. That must be it, I thought to myself. Room 0. It looked nothing like the modernized, pretty doors that were next to it. It looked very like the odd one out. I could tell that it was going to be haunted. I quietly went in and slowly opened the creaky door. When I went in to see my room, it was so nice. The beds looked great. I had a great view of the town down below me. And it was just a perfect hotel room. To be honest, I was really not expecting it, because the door looked like it was the door to a dungeon or something. So I was very pleased with my room. I quickly got changed into my pajamas and got into my bed. It must have been like 2:30 in the morning by now, and I needed to get some rest. But just as I was dozing off, I heard a horrifying scream coming from outside my hotel room door. I immediately got out of bed and swung open my hotel room door to see what was going on. But there was nothing there. But then, as soon as I got back into bed, I heard more and more screams. By now, I was getting really suspicious. So I got out of my bed once more and saw what was really going on. There was a body on the floor. Straight after seeing this, I ran downstairs to tell the receptionist what I had just seen. He said he didn't believe me, but that he'd come upstairs to take a look. And sure enough, there it was. He looked shocked, like I was, and he said he'd immediately go and investigate. The receptionist and some of the other workers at the hotel searched the corridor for hours and hours, until about 6 o'clock in the morning, but they found nothing. And they just said simply that my room had to be out of bounds for probably centuries. Or it was just too risky to go in there again. We still don't know what caused the event. No one did. But they said it was just safer to not go in that room for a while. Because of the event that happened outside my hotel room door, I was moved to room 206 on the 4th floor. This was very grand. And the room inside was even more fancy than the one in room 0. I slept there very happily, with no events or creepy happenings going on around me. The next morning, I checked out of my hotel room and got in the taxi to get back to work. And while I was working, I could not stop thinking about the night I just had. Because that experience was probably one of the most creepy hotel experiences I'd ever witnessed in my life. And I think you guys can all agree.